All right, all right. I think we're live. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see everyone here. Quick mic check. Do you hear me? Do you see me? Do you see the presentation? Just one uh, one message. Please text me in the webinar chat if everything's all right. Yeah, I see people joining, but no one is confirming. Maybe no one is hearing. Okay, I see someone raise the hand.
Hopefully you can see and hear us.
Yes. Welcome to Hump Day. Thank you for joining. Okay, so yeah, I see we still have people joining, but I think we can start. Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Daria. I'm CMO with Promo Republic, and joining me here is Roxy, who leads our product and customer success. Let's dive right in. Thank you for showing up today because this is an incredibly important topic, and we hope that our findings of the state of local visibility will be helpful to you and will be helpful to grow results across your locations. So let me just give a bit of a context of what we're going to talk about today. Okay, I'm checking the chat. All right, that's fine. Yeah, so a bit of the context, what we're going to talk about today. We spent, the whole Promo Republic team spent 2025 watching how more than actually 25,000 locations show up in search and how dynamic it was last year and how it was changing time over time. And I think if you're a marketing or in leadership for a multi-location brand, a chain, a franchise, you notice that as well with the traffic organic dropping and changing of consumer behavior. So we all know this is not something that's temporary here. It's not just some new algorithm that Google launched, and the discovery interface, overall the consumer behavior is changing, and it's going to change more looking forward in 2026. So we were curious to see how the results that we saw that our customers and our locations that are under management of on Promo Republic platform, how they perform and what actually drive real results and actions and traffic and calls and directions for the locations of the brands. And we're gonna share you some findings with you. So buckle up. It's gonna be probably a bunch, a bit maybe nerdy stuff. So take screenshots maybe to revisit later, invite your AI assistants, and please don't be shy to invite also your AI assistants and ask questions. Because yeah, we've been digging a lot in this data and we want to make everything clear for you. So please put in the chat, we will address them in the end. So yeah, let's start. So what we actually analyzed in 2025. So we managed to choose to analyze the lot of different data points across 7,000 locations, real locations, our customers, and not only customers but also in the market itself in 2025. It was more than 100 multi-location brands from mostly franchises, but also buying groups, multi-brand operators across mostly is US, 66% almost, strong and representative Australian and Canadian locations representation. So we decided to go global this time because we noticed and we had a thought and we noticed that LLMs behave differently in each market. So what works for Toronto locations and brands in Canada doesn't work in Sydney. So, talking about industries, pretty much like heavy on home services and finance, but we also saw some patterns that are the same across every vertical, and there are also some differences, and we're going to talk about it as well. What else? Yeah, we measured different operational signals, but we took out 6 main signals that we see that they correlate and impact visibility outcomes in map pack inclusion and AI summary appearances, clicks, calls, volumes, and we're going to talk about that more moving forward. So yeah, again, small context is not. I'm not going to be the first person who's telling you this, but the how people are searching, how digital marketing is built has changed 2025. So actually, what's like before, you were competing for 10 blue links on the page 1, page 2, and local 3-pack in Google, but it's changed. So right now, like SEMrush, the company that's has access to lots of data across the globe, they say that 68% of local business searches includes AI overviews, include Google, ChatGPT, Perplexity. So they don't show just 10 options with links. The search doesn't end up on the website. They just show 3 to 7 pre-selected businesses. So what before was about being clickable and findable, now it's a question of are you included into that shortlist or not? And it's not only SEO problem or challenge or some technical problem anymore. It's more of a trust and credibility problem. So from what we know right now, AIs evaluate whether your business as the whole looks reliable and trustworthy based not only on some marketing signals and how well you're optimized, but also on operational signals. AI rewards entities that behave like reliable, active, up-to-date businesses, and it doesn't work for the ones that look inconsistent or untrustworthy. Roxy, please walk us through the 6 signals that we found out that are impacting locations results.
Thank you, Daria, for intro. So across 7,000 locations, we measured 6 variables against real visibility outcome. Map pack inclusion, AI summaries, clicks, calls, direction, requests, all of that leads to sales and leads. And this is not theoretical. They consistently correlated with performance. So the first one is review velocity and recency. This carries roughly 20 to 25% weight. It depends on industry and country. Location with steady recent reviews generate 2 to 4 times higher amount of calls and direction volume. The second one is listing completeness and accuracy. This is even higher, 20 to 40%. When data is incorrect or incomplete, we saw actions drop between 20 to 40%, and in some cases, even 50%. So half of the actions, so calls, direction requests, website clicks, didn't happen because listings incompleteness. When completeness reached around 95%, conversion increased by 45 to 85%. And sometimes it doubled and tripled. Third is entity freshness. Here we are talking about photos, post updates. Weekly activity correlated with roughly 25% higher map engagement. And by map engagement, we say same calls, website clicks, directions. So getting more opportunities to convert leads from the maps. Fourth is response speed and coverage. Replies under 48 hours improved both trust signals, but also ranking. And coverage of 95% made a measurable difference in the shortlist inclusion for AI. So that was a critical part to have consistencies there as well. Fifth is category and service precision. Primary and secondary categories and listings having alignment there and relevance there improved the searchability, visibility, and relevance by 30 to 60%. And 6 is behavioral signals, clicks, calls, directions. This creates reinforcement. The more interactions increased visibility, which generated more interactions in the end of the day. And that is a flywheel that you got from these visibility signals. The key insight in this is that high performers were not exceptional in just one area. They were aligned across all 6. And what is important also in multi-location businesses, they did it across all of their locations, not some of the locations that they had in place. Let's go and see in more details first 3 signals because they are key as they cover majority of the weight. First signal is review velocity and response. As mentioned, review velocity consistently outranked historical star rating in predictive models, which mean that high-performing locations generated between 15 and 30 new reviews per month were more visible. This number would be slightly different for different industries and countries, but on average, it's 15 to 30 new reviews, what you want to get per month per location. Once high-performing locations appeared in AI summaries 2 to 4 times more often than locations with similar rating, but slower momentum with less reviews. Response timing mattered a lot. Under 48 hours was a real clear threshold that we've seen now. In the past, we were talking respond to half within 1 day. We would say under 48 hours, that is a target to have. What is important, do it consistently across the board, especially in healthcare, home services, and beauty, industries where trust deliver purchase decisions. Responses coverage was critical. And locations that replied to more than 95% of reviews were more likely to be included in voice and AI shortlist results, which means in other channels where people search nowadays. There are industry nuances, as I mentioned before. For example, restaurants require review recency under 2 weeks. The reviews that are older than 2 weeks impact the visibility. In healthcare, the fast response and communication rewards more over the volume of reviews. So you want to have consistent reviews across the locations, but you want to make sure that you communicate and you want to make sure that you respond to all the reviews that are coming. Similar comes to home services. What is special for the home services, you also want to get reviews that mention specific services that customers use. And with this all parts, the generic review generation campaigns do not create the right signals patterns. So now you want to make sure that you get velocity, recency, coverage, and you want to see the service context in the reviews that are coming because this creates a trust footprint for others to choose. Let's move to the signal number 2, which is listing accuracy and categories. Most brands underestimate the structured data. We consistently saw that categories precision alone could shift relevance by 30 to 60%. And on the market, a lot of locations use generic categories. High performers use 2 to 3 specific categories. For example, if you have home service, you would rather not use just home service, but focus on plumbing services, drain cleaning services, water heater contractors, anything that relates to your specific services, because it will be shown more and will improve performance a lot. And market average completion of in general listing is under 20% now. So high performers that reach 80 or 90% take all of the traffic. And if your locations are do not have listings that are filled correctly, do not have all the category services and data needed, that would impact their visibility. to this part also comes hours accuracy. This impacts the trust because you want to make sure when you call the service, it's available, but you also want to make sure if someone comes, the restaurant or any brick and mortar is open. The high performers maintain 90% accuracy, but incorrect hours correlate with 20 to 40% fewer calls. So that is critical to maintain. You want to make sure that you have set hours and they are correct, not 24/7, but exact hours when you operate. Then make sure that your special holiday hours are correct. That is usually the missed opportunities for the businesses. We usually forget to maintain holidays and losing a lot of business on the holiday season itself. The last but not least, photo recency. It also correlates with engagement stability. Locations maintaining 70 to 80% of images under 3 months shows stronger ongoing interaction, especially it comes to the services when customers need to trust you or customer need to have updated information. You want to see updated menu for restaurants. You want to see updated information for the home services when you let someone into your house. This is not a cosmetic work that you have done once and forgot. It's a structural entity health, so it's something that you need to maintain on the recurrent basis.
All right, so third signal, content cadence. So AI uses content cadence as an activity signal. So if your locations post weekly, it means that you're currently operating, and quarterly activity signals that maybe not. What's important here is that different industries have their own best practices, their own benchmarks, and their own average performing locations, like their habits and top performers. For instance, for fitness and wellness, typical location posts from 2 to 4 posts a month. This is like a very small amount, but high performers post 8 to 12. It impacts the engagement. It impacts even map interactions if we're talking about GPP. In beauty, highly visual industry, right, lives on visual proof. Fresh images are very important here, 10 to 14 posts per month. And also pairing up with the detailed service mentions. It drives inclusion in AI recommendations. Restaurants and QSRs, extremely like low typical amount of posts per month, 1 or 3, but again, top performers do 3-4 times more, from 8 to 10 posts per month. But what's important about restaurants is that, yes, posting matters here, but still, if talking about like a wider picture of what will drive more results, we notice that review recency is still the dominant driver. For home services, the high-performing range is 4 to 6 posts per month. Here also, social activity is important, but matters a bit less than category precision, as Roxy was mentioning. You still need a baseline posting across locations. And then retail, 8 to 12 posts per month. And actually, this is one of the most interesting cases because local offers and localized content, here we see a very strong correlation in high performers with for those locations who do localized content. They perform better than in overall than just locations that post only branded content. So the local content advantage shows up here strongest. So yeah, overall, maybe some additional learnings that fast-moving industries with high frequency updates require constant freshness, and slower industry require more accuracy and precision of describing services. But all of them require operational cadence of posting consistently. So, but yeah, the challenge probably here is like, how do you maintain across all locations 8, 12 posted per month across 200 locations when only like 20 or 30% of purchasees, it's in a good case, they log in into their social media regularly. But we'll come back to that a bit later. Yeah, Roxy, the stage is yours.
Thank you. So all six signals reinforce each other, as mentioned before, and precise categories increase inclusion. That's what we've seen in the home services. Accurate listing increase actions. So people call more, click on your website, get directions more often. Review velocity signals of activity that your business is actually active here and now. Fast response signals of attentiveness gives us feeling of the trust to the business, that it cares about the customer and that you can let them to your house or come and visit for your special occasion. Content cadence creates behavioral momentum, and behavioral signals reinforce visibility. When this loop runs, visibility compounds, and when signals drop below baseline within 3 months, we observed that almost half, from 32 to 58% fewer actions happened across locations. And it's not a decline that happens in one moment. It's accelerated decline. The longer you do nothing, the higher visibility depth you get. And it accumulates when operation signals fall below competitive threshold. And recovery requires sustained reliability for around 3 months, so from 2 to 3 months. So that's why we believe it's very important to have consistency and activity across different signals across the board. That short burst of activity did not reserve you that decline.
Yes, thank you for noting that. Yeah, we were talking about different patterns that we saw across different markets, and it's actually very interesting that the expectations of LLMs also as expectations of humans, they vary by market, by geography. So what we noticed worked for United States. The most important signal is review velocity. 15 to 30 reviews plus 8-12 posts per month. The most volatile, the highest moving markets, LLMs expect constant fresh content updates and evidence. In Australia, the main signal was data accuracy in hours, in listings, and categories. It's a lot of penalties for errors. One incorrect holiday hour suppresses listings. It's interesting to see that. United Kingdom, the most important signal is data precision. Also, like 80 to 100% service list completeness will impact a lot. Overall, national consistency is rewarded. And yeah, as Roxy mentioned, that structured data is usually underrated. And this is the market is that structural data is rewarded more than anything else, and more than high frequency posting. So this is the most important signal here. And in Canada, it's also about trust and reviews. Overall, it's a combination of 8 to 10 reviews per month plus accuracy in listings. reliability over high frequency activity. So what we wanted to say with this is that there is no one global standard. So if you operate globally across different countries, please take it in consideration, consider different benchmarks. You could over-invest in one signals in one market and under-invest in others. So yeah, I see that there is something happening in the chat. Okay, thank you, Roxy, for taking care of that. So maybe it's a time for a quick poll. Listening to us, listening to all of this information, which trust signal is the weakest in your organization right now? Just no judgment, no nothing, just maybe for a bit of self-reflection. What would you say this is the weakest? The review velocity, the listings, entity freshness and cadence of updates, listings, response speed. Let's give it maybe 20 seconds more. Roxy, what do you think? What's like what we see most often? I think review velocity and recency is like overall what we see.
I would say everything connected to reviews. It's both velocity and speed of response. And so, like from our customers, we see the mix of automation and human touch, which solved a lot of issues here.
Yeah.
So it removed the challenge.
Yeah.
But then entity freshness, especially when it comes to multiple channels and local content, that is a challenge that we see.
This is what usually franchisors, when we're just starting, talking to us, and we're like doing this opportunity check. Yeah, so like reviews and content entity freshness is like two most challenging areas that we're getting started with. Okay, so I think we can close the poll. Let's see the results. Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. So now we have number one trust signal that is the weakest, this entity freshness, posts and photos. Interesting. So, and then we have review velocity and recency and response speed and coverage. So basically, I hope we didn't bias you.
Very similar.
Yeah, but I hope we didn't bias you with our conversation. But yeah, thank you for sharing. Just letting you know that you're not alone. And this is all fixable, and we can talk about that more. Yeah, so let's talk about what high performers do differently.
So as mentioned in this discussion, across industries, high performers shared consistent structural behavior. So doing parts on a recurrent basis consistently across signals is very important. They maintain recency across all core fields, reviews, posts, photos, hours. They eliminated data drifts within roughly 7 days. So having some AI automation, having automations there is very helpful. They sustained predictable cadence, typically 8 to 12 posts per month per channel, as we've discussed in the chat. They responded within 48 hours and maintained the 95% coverage across all of the reviews, with main channel being Google. Niche channels might be important for certain industries, but Google will be 90% for majority. And they generated behavioral momentum because they did everything consistently, and this flywheel just worked. The most important for multi-location businesses is that they did not rely on franchisees or locations behavior alone. They reduced execution variance through the systems that were implemented in place. second. So there are two paths to go. We call it dual execution. Industry average platform usage remains under 20%, which is a challenge that we see most of the brands have faced. So with Promo Republic, we advise to go one of the paths with the structural execution. So high-performance brands address this in two layers. For engaged operators, it would be direction of AI assistant, mobile coaches that do not just advise you to do posts, respond to reviews, and stay on brand and maintain weekly cadence. What we see that around 80% of franchisee engagement within this workflow, and it's 3 times higher than industry standard. This requires the involvement of franchisees. That is a challenge that is happening when the businesses are growing. Franchisees are less involved, so there are systems in place to nudge them, educate them, and help them. The second path, or it can be mixed path as well, it's for non-engaged operators. So you have a baseline activity that is maintained automatically. So you have listings monitoring, AI response automation, or just response automation. You have your campaigns running mass localized, which is great and covers all of the location. This ensures all 6 signals maintained active across locations. The results was consistent, the operational rhythm, independence, and engagement is kept there. And there are agents that are helping to support the system. So governance agent that validates whether everything that is done against the brand guidelines and brand rules. The intelligent agent sees the data and sees the leaderboard and sees who is top performance and what they are doing and suggests based on this what to do next. And marketing agent that executes on behalf of your team. And the outcome is same. Every location has this weekly rhythm, and whether franchisee logs into the platform or not, you got this consistency across the board.
Yeah, so talking about companies that have adopted this approach, I think basically every company that we're going to talk about right now, they had these 2 challenges of posting cadence and also reviews. So one of our customers, Expedia Cruises, with 300 locations, over 5,000 vacation consultants, they had this inconsistent execution, inconsistent branding before working with us. Their manual workflows of posting everything and maintaining social media and reviews from HQ. It was overwhelming, and also local operators didn't have that tool to do any localized posts. So basically, we provided them with this system to do automatically everything on their behalf from HQ perspective, and also a mobile assistant for their vacation consultants to teach them and to coach them on what to post, when to post, and how to post. That is available from a mobile interface, just like you would text a peer asking for advice. But the one that knows your brand and knows what actually works, not just doing the guesswork. And yeah, results are talking and singing for themselves. So yeah, no manual management, like reduce the time by 70%. 100% locations are activated for this local marketing, which is very important for their brand. Engagement growth and impression growth on social. And we know that this will feed all the signals. It feeds all the signals both for SEO and both for LLMs to advise them more as a brand for a customer that's searching for their services for cruises. And we also have another case with another industry, which is retail.
Yeah, Metcash and IGA Supermarkets, it's Australian buying group. So basically, they do not own locations. They are independently owned. They cannot mandate the tools. Instead of this, they are enforcing adoption. They ensure baseline execution maintained consistently across all of the connected stores. And they achieved 75% of platform adoption with increase in followers quarter over quarter and increase in direction requests through listings and maintenance. And the principle here is clear. In the decentralized systems, consistency must be designed as a part of the system. It must be part of the training. It must be part of the platform that you have in place. This helps boss head offices and locations to perform in the field of marketing. And for locations, they usually don't know what is a marketing part of job because they are running supermarket.
Right.
So before we wrap up, a quick question to you. Would 30 minutes visibility audit be useful to identify whether your locations are strong and whether some signals are leaking?
Yeah, I would call it more of like an opportunity check, because usually people know that's what's not working, right? So, and you also see your own gaps, and you just shared it with us as well in your poll. But yeah, our job here is actually to check if there is something that could give to assess your health of your locations and to see what could we fix, what could be fixed as a first priority that would give the biggest impact fast. As you know, that we have just shared, we have the data what impacts fast. We can share with you this benchmark specifically for your industry, for your geography, and draft some pilot roadmap for you to test and see how it will impact your performance. So yeah, as always, no cost, no obligation. Of course, if not, we will customize all the consultancy for you. I think what matters here in these types of audits is like just clarity, because we are all busy bees managing multiple deadlines, 50 tasks every day, and making a lot of decisions. But we know that we can help you to get this clarity and make decisions that will be right and have some ROI impact. Yeah, so the pitch part is done. I think we can close the poll. Alrighty. Yeah, thank you very much. We tried to be very fast and efficient, not to take too much time for you this afternoon. I see that we had questions about content cadence. Rox, do you want to voice it out? I think it's important maybe for someone who's just like listening to us and didn't check the chat. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah. When it comes to the content cadence, it would be different for different channels. The numbers that we showed are average per channel. So if you are managing Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever channels you manage, you would need to multiply it. You can scale the same content across the channels, but we usually advise to have for TikTok and Instagram more engaging channel content and have more content for those channels compared to Facebook. LinkedIn, we see working for B2B, less important for you if you run restaurant or home service brand. But those channels are important. And if you have a chance to get their local content from your franchisees, Boston before, after, or Boston review from their customer, or any local content, that would be very beneficial in terms of results, because local authentic content performs way better than mass localized and generic content. And when talking about reviews for the businesses that need only 100 customers, you still want to maintain review velocity because it builds trust and it helps to be shown on Google in LLMs. Here it's important consistency. I would say depends on your niche and size of competition and where are you located.
You know it better, of course, if you're like your business model needs only 100 customers and you know who you're competing with, right?
Yeah, like it's still trust and search signal. 100 customer, I would just maintain the consistency there, focus less on having a lot of reviews, but more on having reviews consistently coming to the page to show that you are alive and you get customers and there is traction.
Let's have like 3-4 a month, or like even 2 a month, but let's have it every month.
Yes, here like consistency is the key. Very difficult, very hard to maintain in all of the processes, but very critical to get results.
Yeah, and automations will help here. Okay, any other questions? Thank you. Yes, Stacy, thank you. Appreciate the clarification. Thank you very much for the questions. Very thoughtful. I see, yeah, we have people that are not dropping off. So maybe just we need to open up another presentation with more content to share. But yeah, thank you very much. Please enjoy your afternoon. Enjoy rest of the week. If you have any questions, please let us know either right now or text us on LinkedIn or reply to the email that you will get as a recording to your email. So we're always here. We will take a look at your request and reply. Alrighty. Thank you. Have a nice one.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.